Year 10 Polynomial Exam Practice Question 16. A cubic graph is defined as the function of x is equal to x to the power of 3 plus x squared minus 10x plus 8, and x is all real numbers. We are going to express as a product of three linear factors. So the first thing I'm going to do is think about using my understanding of the factor theorem, and I'm just going to start off with function of x equals 1, and then I'll do function of x is negative 1, just to see. So to start off, if x is 1, I've got 1 to the power of 3 because I'm substituting it in, evaluating it. 1 to the power of 2 minus 10 times 1 plus 8. So 1 to the power of 3 is, well, 1. 1 squared is 1. Negative 10 times 1 is, well, negative 10 plus 8. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 take away 10 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 8 equals 0. So this shows me that we have a factor. Now that means this factor is going to be x minus 1, because x is 1. Based on that, I'm going to do long division. So let's set it out. So I've got my polynomial of x to the power of 3 plus x squared minus 10x plus 8. And I'm going to be dividing by x minus 1. So I start out with this and go x to the power of 3 divided by x is x squared. How much have I shared? Well, x squared times x is x to the power of 3, and x squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. I then take those away because that's what I've shared, cancels out, and x squared, take away a negative, is plus. That gives me 2x squared, take away 10x plus 8. The next step is again dividing by x. 2x squared divided by x gives me 2x. I'll work the opposite way. 2x times x is 2x squared. And then I go 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. I need to take these away. This cancels out, and a negative becomes a positive. So negative 10x plus 2x equals negative 8x plus 8. Again, I work on negative 8x. I divide it by x, and I get negative 8. I go back the other way. Negative 8 times x equals negative 8x. Negative 8 times negative 1 equals positive 8. If I take both of those away, I am left with 0. That means I have a linear factor and a quadratic factor. So I have x minus 1 and x squared plus 2x minus 8. Now the next thing that I need to do is look at my quadratic and be able to get it into two linear factors. To do that, I need to understand how to factorize. So in this case, I am looking at two numbers that times together to equal AC, or it's just C, is negative 8. So let's brainstorm. I could have 1 and 8. That needs to be a negative. I could have negative 1 and 8. I could have negative 2 and 4. I could have 2 and negative 4. And that's everything. So now, based on that, I need to see out of these what ones add up to B, which is 2. In this case here, I have 4 and negative 2. So that gives me, it helps me get it in factorized form, because I'm now going to have x minus 2 and x plus 4. So I've just got it into my 3 linear factors, and they are products. The next step, I'm just going to rub this out now, so I've got space. Now, one thing we know is that if I equal this 0, it's saying that my y's are 0. That means if I'm thinking about it in terms of a graph, if my y is 0, it's going to tell me my x-intercept. So to get this to be 0, I need x to be 1. To get this one to be 0, I need x to be 2, and then everything will be 0. And to get this to be 0, I need x to be negative 4. So straight away, I've got 3 points. Not completely accurate, because I'm just doing it on the whiteboard. So that shows me I've got an intercept at x is 1, an intercept at x is 2, and an intercept at x is negative 4. Now the next thing that we need to do is realize that if I would like to get the y-intercept, my x value needs to be in the middle here, which is x is 0. So if x is 0, I'm left with negative 1. Here, if x is 0, I'm left with negative timesing by negative 2. And if x is 0 here, I'm left with 4. So I'm left with negative 1 times negative 2 is 2. 2 times 4 equals 8. So straight away, that tells me exactly where my intercept is going to be, which is at y is 8. This helps me now draw my polynomial. And I've got my polynomial for this graph.